Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? Nigga, fresh out the gym, man. It's good work, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the way home. I ain't too far from the crib, man. So I want to get this video out the way while I'm out and about. So peep game, man. I want to talk about this Carl Froch situation, man. How he's all of a sudden in his feelings that Anthony Joshua is giving him a taste of his own medicine, man. Listen, people have been overly critical and overly analytical to the point where it's unfair criticism when it comes as it pertains to Anthony Joshua. Man, this is the only dude that it did for the longest time was fighting the quality of the qualities of the most quality opposition in the heavyweight division, and he was still met with real harsh and unnecessary criticism. Man, he was coddled, all type of wild shit like that. How the fuck are you coddled and you're fighting your most top 10 fights in the division? You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of unnecessary criticism that he was subject to, and Carl Froch being one of them. And I don't know what makes motherfuckers think that you're just supposed to lay down and accept the criticism, the unwarranted criticism, and expect somebody eventually not start snapping back. You dig? I think, I honestly like how he's acting. If we being real, when he ran up on them college kids in their dorm, that's the energy that I want from him. You dig? I'm not saying act like that with everybody you come across. I don't, we don't need arrogance, but in certain spots, arrogance is a necessity. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying, nah, man, I ain't taking no pictures, nothing like that. But yo, when someone is giving you that bullshit, you get that shit right back to them. You dig? How dare you want somebody to stay humble in the face of disrespect? You can consistently jab at me, and the minute I go to defend myself, I'm in the wrong because I refuse to continue to be a doormat for you. No, and now you calling him out to a bro. I don't know what it is that y'all think this dude is, bro, but not Anthony Joshua, but Andre Ward, you middleweights. I don't know, like, bro, y'all are not getting out the way of a shot from AJ. And if we in the street, that is a 250-pound man who can grab you, who can grab you. And when he grabs you, you do not have the strength to fight that man off. You talking about a motherfucking street fight, all because he finally got, he finally feeling himself, and it's like, why am I about to allow you to disrespect me? There's no British boxer in the history of Britain who has done more for the sport as Anthony Joshua, as far as bringing it the global market to it. You dig? We had Lennox Lewis or whatever, yeah, but Lennox and maybe a Conor Benn or Chris Eubank senior, not Conor Benn, but Nigel Benn, maybe those fighters of the past, yeah, definitely, but it wasn't in bulk to the point where we know a multitude of British fighters today, where the American audience is tapped in with the British fighters. That's due to Anthony Joshua. You dig? Y'all owe that man a great deal of respect, a great deal of respect. And for y'all to sit there and consistently give him unnecessary criticism and expect him to just lay down and just take that shit all willy-nilly, that shows what type of individual you are. That's some bully bullshit, man. The minute a bully gets stolen on, all of a sudden, he want to cry wolf. You shouldn't have did that to me. You the narcissist. Why can't you just take constructive criticism? What happened to the humble Joshua? When fuck all that. When he told you get on my level, started counting them, counting that show out. Yes, if that's what's gonna rattle you and get under your skin, do it. Do it to him. Do it to him, man. I don't get it, man. I don't, I don't know what makes people think they can, poke at somebody, poke, and then when they finally stab you, they all of a sudden in the wrong. You dig? If you flash a gun and he up it and bang it on you, you continue to threaten him and threaten him and threaten him and threaten him and threaten him, and you keep pump faking and he up it and bang it on you. Is he in the wrong for upping it and banging it? No, he's in the right because he defended himself. You're not gonna keep showing me shit and then expect me not to bite back. And then when I bite back, you got the nerve to look at me like I did, like I ran, did you foul? No. Shout out to Anthony Joshua. I like this bit of spitefulness that we're seeing out of him. I love it. Y'all keep playing with this dude, man. And the dude is, criticism is one thing, man. I'm not mad at criticism, man, but a lot of the Brits are, regurgitating the same talking points as the Americans. He was coddled, and he was protected and all that, and these is Wilder fans. He was protected and he was coddled and he was spoon fed. Now, mind you, this dude is fighting champions. Took a belt from goddamn Joseph Parker. Took a belt from Charles Martin. got the vacant in the fight with Klitschko, man. This dude has been fighting the best available competition since he's been at the level that he's on. And it's a overt level, it's an overt amount of criticisms, and one of them being that he was soft and he was spoon fed. And these are somebody, people who are supposed to be avid boxing fans who are regurgitating this bullshit. How are you the one that's spoon fed when you're the one that's fighting the most top 10 fighters before Usyk got there? As much shit as we talk about Anthony Joshua losing to Alexander Usyk, let's not forget he could have stepped around Usyk, but the G in him went about doing it. You dig? The G in him went about doing it. I think that shit is real ridiculous. How we can sit there and give this dude unnecessary criticism and expect him to just continue to be a doormat. And you would think the Brits would get behind this nigga and rally behind him and say, yeah, we finally got another one. We got another one. But y'all don't. Y'all kick him when he's down as well. You lost to a fat Mexican kid. Okay, so was the fat Mexican dude not one of the top heavyweights in the division? Was he not one of the top heavyweights in the division? You dig? I can't remember my man's name, but he was in the UFC. His name, he was a Viking looking motherfucker. He was a heavyweight. Dude was by fighter standpoint, he was way out of shape, and that didn't stop him from detonating Congo. I watched that shit live at the mall. It was the John Jones versus Sonny and Shano fight. He was on the undercard. I watched that fight. I watched him outline that nigga in chalk. I watched him do it. You dig? So let's stop playing games. Once you get to a certain level and you're out of shape like that, hey, it just is what it is, man. That's a bad, chubby motherfucker. Navarrete is another one, man. That dude ain't in fighter shape. He's soft around the midsection and everything. Did that stop him from becoming a champion? No. You can't just say, oh, you lost to the fat Mexican kid. So we're going to, okay, well, let's highlight how he lost to the fat Mexican kid. But then if we're going to do that, let's talk about how he came back and dominated the rematch. If we're going to be fair and unpack that fight, let's completely unpack the fight and talk about why he lost it. Because it wasn't like, Andy Ruiz went in there and was countering him effectively. He stepped into a shot and went in prematurely for the kill and got punished for it. Shout out to Andy Ruiz for seeing that and capitalizing on it. You dig what I'm saying? You lost to the fat Mexican. Okay, cool. Joseph Parker arguably lost to the fat Mexican kid as well. Luis Ortiz lost to the fat Mexican kid as well. You know what I'm saying? And then in the process of y'all trying to denigrate him, y'all are denigrating another heavyweight in Andy Ruiz, who is still a really good heavyweight. Y'all will disrespect another fighter inadvertently while disrespecting him. It's just unfair. And then when someone real life match your energy, now you all of a sudden you got the nerve to get in your feelings about it. Man, get the fuck out of here. You talking about let's meet up in the street fight? Yo, man. After September, let's run that. Let's run that. Let's run that. Let's run that. And bring your cameras with you. Bring your cameras, bring your phone, so you can immediately upload it on your podcast. I like when fighters get spiteful. I like when fighters like, yo, man, why the fuck are you disrespecting like all this pressure, motherfucker? One thing I can admire about Tank, even though he pisses me off, he doesn't allow where he's supposed to be at, what people think, how highly people think of him. He doesn't allow that. He doesn't allow that to dictate how he moves. So yeah, I'm supposed to be fighting a certain caliber of fighter, but I'm just not. Because heavy is the head that wears the crown. And a lot of people can't deal with that pressure. Maybe he can't deal with it. Maybe he can. But he's like, hey, yo, man, I'm getting money regardless. I'm not in no rush to find out. So it is what it is. I can admire that. I can honestly admire that. But when you're someone who wants to be a great and you want to be a champion, you want to go down in the annals of times as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers, one of the greatest British boxers, you have a duty you have a duty to keep, you have a duty to, and an obligation to fight the best credible opponents available. So you can't allow yourself to go by with just fighting meager opposition. Can't be mad at him. You got to salute that man. Yeah, that's just something that y'all don't do as Brits. That's what's blowing me as Brits. Y'all don't. Oh my God, it's filthy work. If Tank had Anthony Joshua's resume, there's no doubt he arguably he'd be top 5 pound for pound. I know that. I know that much. So let's stop playing games, man. Just you wrong as 2 left feet, and instead of you admitting how wrong of a how wrong and out of pocket you are, you want to continue to push the envelope and then try to guilt trip him for defending himself, talking about where's the humble. You dig? How come you're not being humble? You're supposed to be humble after being after just years of subjugation and media and public slander by his own. He's supposed to continue to be humble. No, that's not how it goes. You did. Why don't okay, if that's the case, you did. Where's your humbleness? How come you not meek? The meek shall inherit the earth, right? Where's your meekness at? How come you can't acknowledge where you're wrong at? You don't want to see it like that. Why? Because you're not humble. So if you're gonna come at a motherfucker for not being humble, or if you're not gonna be humble, don't come at a motherfucker who's not about to be humble with you. Our dudes be having a game fucked up, man. That's some bully bullshit. And when the bully finally get his face, a nigga take his fist and put it through his face, you in your feelings, man. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. I fuck with Anthony Joshua. Shout out to Anthony Joshua. You the truth. Fuck what they talking about. And he gonna crash Daniel Dubois. And it just is what it is. And I want him to run that fade with Carl Froch so we can see what all that tough talking is about, Mr. 168 pounder. Deuces, my nigga.